Fuck it. Fuck it. It's not that important. At least right now it's not. Alright, guys. So, my casting crew. My players. Hi, guys.
What's up?
Sakata starts to do a jig, is that so?
Yeah, I saw Balthar also deciding to burst into dance, so...
You thought you just hit that up? Alright, okay.
So I was just like, homie, if you're gonna dance, I'm gonna, dance.
I'm picking it up.
Kind of rock.
Okay. Alright, so, let's talk about what happened last time, guys.
Alrighty.
Last time...
Do we have to?
I mean, we should. I think we should.
It's probably correct.
I think we should. I mean, I can kind of play the sound effects to get you guys in the mentality, if you like. I mean, there was like an angry mob or two that were really, really upset.
Yeah,
Really
they've been pretty mad because of everything that they've been like experiencing throughout the town, like through taxes,
taxation without representation.
Yeah, like there's taxation, it's theft arguments. It's been a whole thing.
a villager was hung for not paying his taxes.
They all decided to collapse on at the center of town as like a "fuck you, man" kind of like stand.
I mean, that's kind of what happened.
That's kind of
actually.
It's condensed.
Well, so essentially what happened was
if they were in the center of town, they would be in a lake.
The mayor's house.
They went to the mayor's house.
They went, the town. They went to the town hall.
The mayor's house and the town hall. Yes.
They were supposed to meet up. The whole gathering was supposed to take place at in the evening time, but the people were not gonna. They weren't gonna have that, so they started marching midday to the town hall, and we ended up finding out that Mavu was the one leading them, or at least the one taking up the front to speak for the people.
Jenya was quite kind coming to the tavern to fetch us when she found out that the leader of the mob is somebody close ties
to
the church.
Yeah, and making our way over, we ended up finding out that it was... what's this guy's name? Tercival. Alec Tercival, one of the paladins who was going to challenge Tercion for, I guess, like a kind of right of power. So he would be the new guard captain.
Under what ordinance or what laws maintain
the
this?
right of peers, I believe is what it was called.
Yeah, something along those lines.
Sounds right.
Is that the correct phrase of it?
Yes, anyone from the founding the founding families.
Or apt to 1v1 IRL.
Yeah. Let me pull this up here. Yes, it was the right of peers.
Yeah. And essentially what was the law that we later found out was Sniper was saying that the royal founding families that founded Cauldron had the right to challenge each other for rank and power through combat.
So why would Alec, a dear friend of Jenya's, believe that usurping his position as guard captain is something that would be important or worthwhile? What under what grounds?
They believe he's corrupt. They believe Tercion's corrupt.
Okay, and do you guys think that?
No.
No, he's a dick, but not a corrupt. He's my brother.
So you think that Tercion is this upstanding juniper of the law?
No. Pretty far from that, actually.
I mean, yes and no. It's hard to say.
The world ain't black and white, bub.
So he's doing everything that he can to try to keep the town safe, and from how he's described it, he's kind of feels like he's being pushed into a corner in a lot of situations, and the fact that the nobles more or less kind of have roughshod on him, telling him like, oh no, we want like this employed, and we want orc clans to be brought in to for more guards. He kind of has his hands tied in that sense, but
So,
I mean,
in your
everything.
in your experience, even the strongest and most devout of the town have had some kind of brush with morality that's going to push them around. And Tercion, while exceedingly bullheaded, do you feel that he's no different in this regard?
I believe that he is different from that. I mean, I believe that in spite of everything that's happened, he's kept his morals pretty intact.
Okay.
In spite of everything that's been happening. I mean, he's trying to do everything he can to protect the people.
Sure.
But at the same time, like, there's only so much that one person can take on, and the fact that his life's in danger kind of hampers his movement. So it makes sense that he's not always out and about.
What do you think it would take to push a Skellering over the edge like that? To push him to this gray world, as Splodes has so said. It's
hurt his people.
Okay. All right. And who are his people?
The citizens of Cauldron, the people that he's grown up with, his friends, his family, etc., etc.
All right.
The ones that he cares for, and the people of his town.
All right. So you think, or you've been led to believe that Tercion may be corrupt in some way. Someone has spoken on the behalf of the people. Who is this person?
Mavu.
Mavu, that's right. Mavu has said, hey, this wasn't supposed to go this way. I didn't expect it to take such a violent turn so quickly. I just wanted to speak for the people. And then things got a little wild. What exactly happened?
Someone pulled out a dagger.
Last Laugh members came out and started cutting down the guards.
What did they try to do? Like, the Last Laugh tried to basically... They wanted to pull off some kind of a stunt.
Yeah, to make it look like it was part of the riot. That it was part of the citizens saying, we hate the government, and then they pushed it over the edge to the boiling point. By pulling out daggers and spewing the first blood.
But that was... This interloper of sorts was kind of... not necessarily led astray, but pushed into the open by whom? What exactly happened that made it very clear this was the Last Laugh and not the public?
That'd be Ronald or Will who knew.
Yeah.
Wasn't it the summoning circle? And then on top of that,
No.
it was also the... I mean, I know we found their emblems and stuff on them, but I don't know if that's what you're referring to.
In the crowd, before the riots took off as violent, before things turned violent and the first blood was shed, someone was diving in to make an attack on a half-orc. And then something happened. It was something that you did, Ronald.
Oh, that's when I shot at him, and I ended up stopping the assassin from progressing.
Or at least you thought you did.
Yeah.
When you had hit him, it seemed almost as if his body was able to phase through the arrow, but it caught his garb, it caught the robe, derobing him and showing himself to be a thug for the Last Laugh. As he basically dove in to take this silent strike upon this half-orc, multiple other men swarmed over the top of him, thus leading to the first amount of bloodshed. We lost a guard member. Can anyone tell me about this guard that wasn't a half-orc? That's right, Skylar. What was Skylar like? I
have no clue.
He was young and plucky.
That's right, he was young and plucky. He still believed in the common man. He thought he was doing the right thing, and his life was cut down. Pretty early, even that. He wasn't actually much older than Klaus's actual character is. So, yeah, it's kind of a hard hit, because they were gunning for the half-orcs, yet in this almost wave of hatred, they managed to cut down one of their own. And it's not something that they've really even taken into consideration yet. But something else happened. This is more than just bodies flailing wildly upon another race. What else happened?
There was another demon summon. There was another monster summoning.
There was in fact.
Transpired. This one was a... I forgot the name of it. Breath Taker?
Breath Drinker.
Breath Drinker.
Yes.
This one ended up targeting Mabu, and from what I've learned before, there was another summoning circle used to that summoned a
Bandersnatch.
No, it wasn't the
No.
Bandersnatch.
In the Umberhawk.
It was the Umberhawk.
Umberhawk.
Yes.
Yeah, and that killed his daughter.
They killed Mavu's daughter. Yes. It brought down part of his dispensary, and when it brought it down, his daughter was slain. His whole family, basically, Mavu's entire family was in the building that he was working in, and his wife was able to escape. But Mavu is not exactly a young duck anymore. He's late 30s, early 40s, and he had a daughter that was 17, also working as well. And she was slain via the Umberhulk. Mavu doesn't exactly have a great opinion of the flurry. Why is that?
Because Sakata's character didn't care much for the girl's life and said it was all about money. So he interpreted.
Yeah, basically, Sakata was standing over the...
I was talking
corpse.
about business over the
We were
course.
standing over the corpse of his daughter as she had just been killed. This wasn't like hours later. This was literally about seconds after we ended the combat.
Mm-hmm.
And he was talking about how much money he would be paid for his services to us.
In a nutshell, Sakata was a cock.
Yes.
Yeah.
Also, he believes that we are the reason that his daughter died.
Yeah. Which we weren't. He can blame it on me all he wants, but that ain't true.
I mean, we didn't know that then. We know that now because in 2 places that Mavu has been, there have been summoning circles, and clearly something or someone is targeting him.
Sure. Sure,
Which is
that's a safe bet.
convenient, since Mavu's one of the higher-ranking people in the city. He could almost be considered a noble.
Almost considered noble, that's right. He's definitely among the very wealthy of the working class. Yeah, so the Last Laugh are kind of pulling strings, and they've been pulling strings for a long time. But you guys don't really have much information on them, outside of one particular individual that keeps making an appearance. Do you guys have any idea who I'm talking about? She hasn't made an appearance in a long time. It's a woman.
Well, I remember there was a woman who used to go ahead and pull... Oh, man, I can't remember his name. Risasi aside.
Mm-hmm.
Are you talking about fucking Kiana?
No,
No.
not
Kiana's
Kiana.
around pretty often.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, that's the one who was near Rasasi.
This is a fine red-haired maiden that
Triel?
oftentimes... Actually,
No.
It's not Triel.
We killed Triel.
Yeah.
It's Caitlyn, isn't it?
Yes. Oh, no. Caitlyn is an NPC. This is a woman that you guys haven't really had much conversation with. She's talked to Risasi. She's passed a job to Kimia. She's a red-haired maiden.
Was she the one who grabbed me in the alleyway as Sakata?
Yes, actually. Yes, she is.
God damn it.
She is a member of the Last Laugh. She's made that very, very well known.
Yeah.
Pretty clear, actually.
Now, if only she had a name.
She
You could
has,
say the cute redheaded chick.
she has a way of checking in on you guys. And somehow you're still alive, mostly.
Somehow.
So they're pulling strings. You guys don't know what they're doing. You have any idea what their intentions are? Why are they suddenly attacking Mavu? Why are they making these things happen? You have any ideas about that? What do they have to
Probably
gain?
knows something.
What do they have to gain from this? What do we know about Mavu?
He's a tradesman, a very well-known tradesman.
Okay. What else do we know about Mavu?
Also, I mean, he's not one of the lords, but
Sniper, this is something I know you can answer. You just got to recall back. Recall back to the last session. You met him in the alley at the end of the session.
Right. And
He gave you guys some information.
about the Red Gorge. About going to Red Gorge.
That's where he's going, but why is he going to Red Gorge?
don't
hasn't
believe
informed
he's
us of
going
that.
there to deal with the Last Laugh. There was a group.
No, he's going there
There's
to
a group.
go
I
into
remember-
hiding.
I remember there's a group working in the city that wants to go ahead and meet with us, but aside from that,
Yeah, he declared that he had allies. That there were some allies that he's known that actually wants to meet the Flurry. They want to meet you guys. And he said that among those allies is Alec Turcival.
Right.
Why is that name important?
Because he's one of the people that wants to kill Tercion.
He's one of the few people who are descended from the original families.
Yeah.
Of Cauldron. So he's one of the few who has the ability to challenge.
That's right. That's right. He has the right of peers, only because of bloodline. Good. So today we're going to begin where you guys had left off. Basically, at this point, the gaseous form has removed itself from the alley, and you guys are left standing mere feet away from the guard shack.
If I recall, last time any wanted to pull Klaus aside or someone?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can. I'm gonna pull him just away from everyone else, just to talk to him for a second.
Okay. All right, you've got him. Go ahead. At this point, you guys have just met, and you have an opportunity to discuss the things that you have heard. Whatever it is, this is your chance.
Klaus, do you recall Rasasi?
I recall him vaguely, yes.
I remember going to the apothecaries. We apothecary everything you need, and he had to sneak away for this potion to cure the whatever disease he had gotten at the time. But he had to go see someone he couldn't tell us who they were, and I believe it was the Last Laugh.
You believe Rasasi had ties to the Last Laugh?
I don't think he had ties with the Last Laugh. I think he had ties with the apothecary owner, I guess, who had ties with the Last Laugh. I don't think it was Rasasi himself. I think it was just using him for his usages. But now the wee apothecary guy is run off, and I think he might be trying to get away with him.
That
I don't know if this
would make
information
sense.
is extremely helpful, but it might be at some later point in time.
Before we leave town, we might investigate the apothecary. We could find something useful. Especially with the summoning circles being used, I think some of the materials that are needed for that sort of ritual would be found there, if nowhere else.
It would be a good place to look.
We'll have to gather the others and see what we can find.
Okay. The rest of you guys, you know that they're there, but they seem to be mostly speaking amongst themselves. There's some information that it appears that Horam is trying to reveal specifically to Klaus. Are you guys just kind of standing there, letting this happen? You can still hear the events that are transpiring in the town.
I wanted to look around the corner and see if the mob's calmed down at all, or if it's still, like, bamboozling through the streets.
I mean, there's still some tribulation about it all. You can tell. I mean, people are still kind of riding the high. You know what I mean?
I'd probably turn back into the alley and say, so, what do you guys think we're going to do during all of this?
I still think we should talk to the nobles that we had saved, and we should probably get them to lower this tax or whatever. Get the orc
I have a
clans
feeling they're not going to be so cooperative at this point, especially if there's blood being spilled on the streets. They're probably not going to come out for anyone.
Personally speaking, I think we should go ahead and see this man who wants to kill my brother. Maybe I'm a little biased, but I do want to go ahead and try and at least dissuade him from that particular notion.
I can see why. I still wanted to get a new scythe, but I don't think I'm going to have a chance to during this riot. We could,
judging from the fact that, you know, the town's kind of gone nuts and the fact that...
Yeah, I feel like shop shut down.
Yeah, the orcs are going around kind of quelling the crowds. It would be best if we just kept our head low, and honestly, I think we should leave town tonight.
At this point, I'd probably call over to the to those two as they're talking amongst each other. You guys hip to what we should do?
I believe we should investigate the apothecary. Seems like a good place to start.
Why the
Do you wanna-
apothecary?
The apothecary, who is the only one who seems to have disappeared when everything started to go south.
Well, can you blame them? I mean, somebody got hung in the streets for not paying their taxes.
Do you remember who was hung?
It was a friend of Mavu's.
Do you know what store that he ran?
That I don't remember. I don't believe that information was given to us. If it was, I might have overlooked it by mistake.
Okay.
Drawing blanks.
All right.
Yeah,
Well-
I don't think he gave us the name. He just said it was one of his friends that
It was someone that he knew very
Yeah.
well.
Okay.
we never got a name from it.
So you're going to
Um,
the Wee Apothecary now, or are you guys going to wait?
I am pretty adamant on trying to try to talk to those nobles to get them to either see the error of their ways or, I mean, go with them. I mean, it all depends. I just know leaving town tonight though is probably not a good idea.
I say what we should do, we should go to the apothecary since we can get in there real quick while the town's still in a panic and a frenzy while the guards are busy. We can kick down the door and walk in there and won't be too they won't bother us. Whereas if we do it when everything's calmed down, they'll be at least, we need to be relatively sneaky, and looking at our group, that's not a thing.
So you want to use the riots as cover for something that could quite possibly be viewed on as looting. Did
Yes.
you not hear my brother say that we had to improve our public image?
Well, then we don't get seen.
I think we should go at daybreak. We would have the whole day after that to make our travel to Red Gorge.
There's no telling how much damage this mob can do. Doesn't show any signs of stopping. We should go before something gets destroyed, something important.
Very well. I'll defend you.
Reluctantly, you see that your ally here, Balthar, agrees, though you can all tell that he certainly has desires to see other things, to see other things through, particularly. He keeps mentioning over and over again, we should see the mobiles, we should see the nobles, we should get this cleared. This is something that we should tackle. But he's certainly letting you take lead at this point. You guys might know a bit better than he might. So, you're off to see the apothecary.
Yep.
While we're going through, I'm going to keep my my sword drawn, so if there's any kind of people trying to come at us and give us a hard time, I'll whack them down and knock them out.
Sure. I gotcha. You guys will see very, very little oppression at this point. Remember, you have a reputation, and pretty much everywhere you go, this is kind of like a lingering aura. You know, when you just see someone, you're like, well, that dude could kick my ass.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's kind of what you guys look like. You guys have that aura of, whoa,
Well,
they're
let's-
like
Don't
they're
fuck with them.
they're armed
let's be
to the
honest.
teeth.
Fully decked out in armor.
And nobody would fuck with a man in a frilly pink apron. Let's just be honest.
Oh yeah, did we have any quirks tonight?
I didn't actually get any. I didn't. People were more interested in finding out how the new rep system is going to work or how it's all going to be handled, and I didn't get any rep at all. No,
I'm not
no
complaining
quirks.
about
None, nothing.
Yeah, fine with that.
Alrighty.
Are we making progress? I'm trying to make progress.
So that having been said, yeah, Jerrod and Sasha are going to take the lead.
I will roll my stealth check, still staying. I'll keep my distance from the group mainly, just so if anyone tries to sneak up on them, I can charge at that potential target.
Okay, sounds good. Again, people are certainly trying to avoid you guys. They don't really want to mess with you. Most of these guys are just the commoners. They're the peasants that are suffering. They don't have, they might have family heirlooms. They might have gardening equipment, which, as we've seen, some gardening equipment can be quite efficient, like a scythe, for example. But in this regard, pitchforks are just not going to do the job against hardened adventurers. and you guys walk with a certain kind of stride. It's stoic stance. It's knowledge of the battlefield. And you're mostly avoided. Mostly.
We got that swagger.
Jesus Christ!
Meow.
She got
It
spooked
wasn't
again.
that bad.
He's blown away by our swagger.
What happened?
Yes, I am blown away by your swagger. Ranston, thank you so much for the $25 donation, brother. I will be getting rep to you a little bit later, brother, I promise.
Bob, the 34 was my stealth roll.
Very good, very good. Remember, it's daylight out, and unless you're hopping from building to building or finding a way to obscure yourself further, it's still daylight out. And even though that you're blending in, you're there, like you exist. You're a moving subject. Plus, stealth, you only move half speed. So your friends will walk further. They'll walk faster than you will.
Then I will do... Yeah, well, if it takes time to catch up to them, that's fine. But I still want to keep it to a point where I'm not seen in the group. So if something does happen, I can still respond outside of
So you want to hang back, basically. and
100%.
He just doesn't want to be seen with us. He just doesn't fucking like us.
Yes! Yes, Goblin Vault did it!
Oh, it automatically adds rep.
Yes!
That's sweet.
Fuck yeah! Ha! That took a little longer than I wanted it to, and it still didn't add it
I was actually
to any
gonna
at
ask
all.
you that once you said, you're like, yeah, I'll give you your power. I was gonna be like, but the bot.
I don't know why it didn't add it to InYou, but that's okay.
Did you port your rep over?
Yeah.
Yeah, he gave all of his rep to the well.
Yeah.
You guys will successfully arrive without error, without fault, no conflict whatsoever, to We Apothecary. You can tell that recent turn of events, the door has been locked, but it appears that the ground, the cobble that lie before the store, has since been scattered. You see drag marks over the top of it. Something quite heavy, potentially stone or wooden, has recently been removed.
So on that note, Jerrod's just going to kind of hang outside and guard. He's not going to be seen busting into an apothecary. He's just going to...
No, you're just gonna be the lookout.
Yeah.
You know,
Not an
accomplice
alias.
targets.
Yeah. Not.
Bubs, do we hear it? Can I do a perception to see if I can hear any movement from the inside?
Sure, give me a perception check.
$22.
Oh, man. Rolled a 3, got a 22. No, actually, you can't seem to identify anything from within inside. It's just... It's blank. It's empty, vacant space, as far as you can tell. But then again, like, you've got your ear to the wall or the door. You're not inside.
Yeah. Looking back to the group, I'll guess walk back quietly. There's no sounds, and it doesn't look like anyone's in there, at least from initial view.
Can I look around the alley and see if there's anyone who's within, like, eye shot? Or
Sure.
there...
Give me a perception, please. Looking around, I mean, you see peasants, man. These are the common folk, and most of them aren't really paying much mind to you.
I do
Better
believe
not.
that Jerrod did go there once with Rasasi.
Yes.
Yeah, Jerrod probably go ahead and remind you guys there is a back door.
Oh, well, let's go look at that. And I'm gonna walk around to the back.
I'll put my hand up. If we're gonna do anything before sneaking in, I at least want to make sure that the person's here so we don't catch him by surprise. Just go around the back door and I will signal for you if anything happens.
I'm gonna go to the back door and stand lookout and see if there's anyone or anything.
Walking up to the front of the door, I will knock.
There's no response.
Is anyone in there?
Still no response.
We're members of the guard. We're trying to see if anyone in here is okay.
Still
Yeah,
no
'cause
response.
That's going to go over well. If somebody...
I'll lean over to the side for Sakata, and I'll just give him a thumbs up.
Bub, is there no one looking in my alleyway?
As far as you can tell, no. There's no one.
I'm gonna kick the door. The key to kicking down a door, ladies and gentlemen, is you gotta kick near the lock. Not on the lock, but near the lock.
The hinges.
That's just a normal strength check, right?
Yeah, I mean, in this case, if you're trying to just, like, kick the door off the hinges, or if
not kicking near the lock, to kick it in.
To kick it in, okay. This is... Just give me... Oh, let's see here. Make an attack. You're just trying to kick the door open. So it's going to be a D20. D20 plus your base attack bonus plus your strength modifier.
Gotcha. I'm too lazy to do math right now. That's
15.
Yeah, hold on. I'm stupid.
Plus a D20.
There we go.
That's pretty good. Yeah, actually, you plant your foot sternly just next to the lock itself, and what little handle seems to be there pointing downward, it just snaps. As soon as it snaps, the door kind of gives way and swings inward. It seems to hit something behind the door and just stands there ajar.
I'm gonna pull out my scythe and then enter the room.
When you move inside, you find that most of the contents of the apothecary are missing. All that seems to stand is a handful of tables, empty bookshelves, dust, maybe a few pieces of cracked debris, some incense, things of that nature. But anything that would be worth even more than a silver piece has been removed.
I'm going to go to the front door and I'm going to unlock it and open it. And when I open it, say, "Oh, I'm sorry, we don't like door-to-doors here." I'm going to close it on him without locking it.
It's actually a key lock, so unless you have a key, there's no way to unlock it.
Oh, never mind then. Oh. I'm just going to go up to the window. Is there a window that's like near the
yes,
front
there
door?
is. There is, in fact.
I'm gonna go up to him. I'm gonna wave to Balthar.
Balthar, you were in the back already, so.
Oh, okay, so I'll just enter through the back then, and I'll just I'll stealth in just to make sure there's no one else.
Sure.
No one else in there.
Sure, that's fine. Did you want to call to your allies?
Not just yet. I want to make sure it's secure.
Okay.
So 37 on the sneak.
It looks pretty good. The moment that you pass through, you seem to blend into the shadows. Pressing your back nearest a wall, you see Sakata near the front door. He seems to be tapping on the stained glass to get the attention of your allies.
Ding, ding, ding.
No other movement, though?
Perception, please.
From him or from me? Both?
From him.
Okay.
$34.
Everything appears to be safe.
Alrighty. Wait,
Thanks
hold
for
on.
Terry.
Can I smell blood?
You smell an array of odors. The scent here is pretty obnoxious. It's like walking into a head shop, and the stands, like the variety of stands with incense, but this is an apothecary, so it's more than just that. There were base components that were everywhere, but as far as the richness of that almost metallic blood smell, it doesn't seem to be very existent.
Okay.
If there was a struggle here, it has since been cleaned.
I'll calmly walk up behind Sakata, and I'll kind of like gently like punch him on the shoulder.
I'm going to freak out because I didn't hear him enter the room. Freak out and go, "Ah!" and pull out my weapon and ready up when I turn around.
He's gonna jump up and do that ninja thing everybody does whenever they walk into a spider web.
Yeah, he's like "Whoa!"
Can I get a perception, please, from everyone outside?
Yeah, because that's my favorite role.
Nice.
Very good. If you broke 10, you hear Sakata scream from the inside.
We all heard it loud and clear.
Yes. Sakata lets out a very almost effeminate scream.
I'll just raise an eyebrow.
I'm gonna lean up on Klaus and be like, "I think you saw a spider."
I think he saw your mother.
That would be scary.
Dude,
She's dead.
that is not cool.
Look,
Well, what's the difference?
She's still walking around. That's reason to scream. Undead are no joke.
Turning to Sakata, there's no one else here. Whoever's been here is left, and why are you screaming?
Maybe you should think before you jump on trained soldiers.
He says as
I'm
he
going
cowers and clutches his scythe.
I'm going to hug my scythe. Just go. No one's here. I'm going to walk outside. I will catch you later, good sir. I'm going
No
to
one's
step
here.
outside.
That doesn't mean we have nothing to find. We should start
Well, I'll
looking
go
around.
get. I'll get the rest of them then. I'm going to.
While Sakata leaves, I'm going to start looking through the hut, seeing if there's any letters, maps of anything that.
Sure.
Yeah.
Give me perception.
39.
Wow, very good, very good. As you begin moving around the room, you see that everything is very loosely built. Everything seems to be kind of shoddy, mundane level of construct. But you note that this area, which would be received as like a front desk or a counter, an area where he would have the transaction of everything happen, seems to be a much sturdier build.
Like made for faces.
Or further. The wood is very thick. You see that it's more than just that. It's not just a basic table where there are 4 legs. That it's got these dense wooden pieces to it, and as you begin to move it around, or at least try to look around, you note that every piece of equipment or furniture in this room has moved, with an exception to this. There are marks clearly on the ground. All around. The bookcase has been moved. Some crates have been pulled to the side. A workstation has been shifted forward. But this has not. This is something that you notice immediately. What do you do?
Start running my hand along the table, under it, seeing if there's like buttons or slight levers. Taking my time with it, like slowly, like
sure.
edging the
As
table.
you begin to move your hand under the table nearest the right thickened proportion, you feel this almost recessive button, like something is tucked away. It's almost enamors to the eye. It's something that a normal person would not pick up whatsoever.
I will click it.
When you press it, the crates begin to wobble that are stacked up onto the wall to the ceiling, and a wall recesses to the side. You now see light shining from behind the crates.
Oh shit.
See, guys, he's able to go ahead and put his fingers and stuff, and nobody knows.
I'll signal for Jerrod to shut the fuck up.
From outside, from outside, Jared's just really pissed off for some reason.
He just.
Place it, but
Why can't I put my fingers in places? Balthar just, hey, Jerrod, shut the fuck up. Goes back to work.
Hear the low rumble through the wall.
Break my head out the glass and go, hey, shut up, all right?
Shard the glass sticking out of his skull.
Like, would you mind? I'm doing something.
Okay, so if he's not in there, then I will take my scimitar and I will head back out, and Sakata should just be leaving, right? Like he should still be in that area.
Yeah, I mean, I figured Sakata would be in the room.
Because he was walking out, that's why. So I'll catch him before he does and point to the crates and go, found our next path. Get everyone in here.
Gotcha. And I'm gonna lean my head out of the room and say, "Hey, get on! Come on, come in here. Even
Get
you,
on.
fucking get on! Get on!"
Hey, thank you, Forrest. Thank you so much for the rep, brother. I appreciate it. Not the rep, excuse me. The bits. Thank you for your biddies. Bits.
I will. Looking down at the traction from the crates now, are there footprints leading into it that might look fresh?
This place was a public shop. There are loads of footprints that go to this, around it, circle all throughout the building. And
No, but I'm talking about from past the crate, like the actual wall itself. Are there is it like heavy dirt and stuff like tracking into that?
Oh yeah.
Looks fresh
Oh yeah.
right now?
Give me some perceptions, please. Sure. As you begin to investigate the area, you can see that there are a handful of empty containers here. They look to be, again, more wooden crates. It looks as if they had packed a few perishables had been here, something that they were trying to conceal, something that they might not want normal people to see. But as you kind of look out and you see this window, this bay opening, it seems a little strange, because you had circled the building, and you know that this window wasn't there. It doesn't exist on the outside. But on the inside, you can see through it. Also, there is a small leather pouch that is tucked up into the basically the nook, this corner of the window itself.
I will pick up the pouch, like pull it out of the crack that it's being nestled in.
All right.
So while he's doing all this, are we deciding who's going to go in, actually, because Sakata called? Because Jerrod's going to want to...
I called all of you, including you.
Okay. When you move up to this, you'll note that the windowsill itself, it has what appears to look like thinly sliced mushrooms that are baking dry from the sun. And when you open up the pouch, it appears that it is a bag of mushrooms.
Can I use a knowledge nature check and figure out what these mushrooms would be for?
Sure, go ahead and give me knowledge nature.
$13.
You aren't particularly familiar with this, because this isn't something that is a regular from your neck of the woods. This is something that had to be kind of like imported in. So maybe somewhere closer to Red Gorge or another fellow town, but it appears that they're drying out these mushrooms, and that in a situation where they had to move, they left these here.
Okay. I will keep them with me for now then. Is there anything else in the bag? Like, does it look like there's
Are you going to gather these up?
Yes.
Okay, alright, so as you guys are walking in, you see that Balthar has a small brown leather bag, and he's picking something up off of the windowsill, and he's stuffing it into this bag. As you enter into the room, can I get perceptions, please, from the four of you?
No one sees what I'm doing because I'm hidden. Just kidding.
Come on.
Hey, I see something.
It's true. Sakata, you were drawn to something a little different. While you see him doing that, you kind of look around the room, and you notice that there is a very oddly printed rug in the center of the room. It seems to be covering up a vast amount of it. And you notice that there is like bits of black dust that seem to be on the outside of this particular rug.
I'm gonna point it out to Klaus and say, you see that dust on the ground there?
I see a lot of dust on the ground.
I mean, there's black powder. Black powder's usually, I guess, a bit different, but I'm not an alchemist. Balthar, what about you? Would you be able to know what this is?
Nate, would I do a nature check, or what kind of check would that be?
Let me take a look here.
Jerrod's just going to go ahead and be keeping an eye out for spiders, because he's like, man, this place has just been emptied. It's dark. It's been empty all night. I want to go ahead.
I wish I had. I was playing a wizard, just so I could polymorph into a giant spider and just like land on you when you were asleep.
That would be a very short lifespan.
Like the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. Like, hey Dad, are you proud of me now? I hate you.
I hate you.
Give me a knowledge arcana if you have it.
I do not, so it would be untrained.
I can do that.
You could try untrained, but it would be very difficult.
Oh boy, Will, it's up to you. Show us with your special eyes.
Yeah, no idea.
Yeah, since it's been pointed out to me, I will attempt to discern its origins.
Let's see what you got.
Probably not much. Oh, just kidding.
That'll do, Pig. That will do. It seems like this is going to be another night of you guys critting left and right.
I'm fine with it.
This is a. It's like basalt powder, and it's a spell component.
Mm-hmm.
It's used in summoning magic.
Ooh.
Heavily used in summoning magic.
There's no lavender around, is there? I mean, not like in this room specifically.
Actually, yes, there is in this room. In one of the crates, as you begin to kind of look around, you guys are just pandering through things. There is a few like petals, traces of this lavender plant.
I believe we found the culprit of our summoning circles.
I'll turn over. What do you mean? What are you talking about?
This powder, it's used in the process, as well as this lavender over here. I imagine the rest of these materials.
Same heavy lavender scent, like same.
Oh yeah,
plant.
once it's kind of pointed out to you, you immediately sense it. Yes.
Or he could just be making a, really good abrasive soap.
No, but Mavu did mention someone who dealt heavily in lavender, and I believe he did mention the apothecary that was here.
Summoned? What?
Give me perception, Xander.
37.
Very good. From your location, and I'm giving this specifically to you here, the opposite side of the room, Klaus calls to you. Says, I think we found our culprit. Look, lavender. You immediately turn, knowing the scent of lavenders, particularly trying to identify this, and as you stomp across, being very you're bugbear. You're heavy. Everything about you is heavy. Your footfall is heavy. You're big. You're fucking hulking. And as you move across the room, 3 to 4 steps in, you hit a hollow point in the floor. Center of the rug.
So I'll stop and kind of look down. This spot's empty. I'll take my scimitar and I'll start cutting along the outlining of this hole that I feel.
That's rude. You could just move the rug.
Yeah, I mean, why you gotta ruin a good rug, man? It really ties the room together.
Mess up the function.
Still continue along the line, just looking up at them, still cutting out the lining of the rug.
You cut out a portion of it, but as you cut out a portion of this, you basically find that there is some kind of hidden trapdoor. At this point, you see that they're probably also kind of removing the rug from the area.
Alrighty. So there's two spots. There's the door that opened up from the crates, and then there's this trapdoor leading down.
As you remove this carpet entirely, as you place it against the wall or whatever, you see that black dust grows in vast enormity. It appears that there was some kind of sigil placed in basalt powder all the way around this trapdoor.
Yeah, Jerrod's gonna put a hand on Sakata's shoulder and kind of move them both back about 5 feet.
Gladly.
Well, that's not good.
What?
Can I roll another knowledge arcana to see if I can discern what this is intended to do? Or do you want a spellcraft check? Something along those lines.
Knowledge arcana
Okay.
could help you here.
I will attempt.
Please don't be explosive.
Man.
It explodes if you get off of it.
You aren't entirely sure to what degree this sigil has to deal with summoning. You know that this powder is involved highly in summoning, but this particular sigil, you're not sure if it's to summon a portal, a monster, a dimension of some sorts. You're not sure.
Are there any runes inscribed into it, or is it basically just a design, like a pattern?
You see that there's some odd, almost abrasions that have been marked into the metal around the frame itself of the trapdoor.
Okay. I will attempt to read magic and see what's going on with that.
Okay. As you turn on your read magic, you see that the they're kind of tapered down. You're not really getting the entire thing, but you can tell that the runes are certainly arcane in nature.
Mm-hmm.
There is something more that's hidden.
Detect magic then? I guess, if I don't go blind, hopefully.
Sure. As you cast Detect Magic, there is one word that doesn't even really seem like a word. It's scrivened over and over again in a hidden arcane language. It's like an arcane mark, repetitiously forced over and over again all the way around this. And I'll go ahead and just spell this for you.
Okay.
Is that you, Jerrod, writing that down? Or, I'm sorry,
That's me.
Sniper?
Holy that is a series of letters.
That's yeah.
Thuckton Fennel?
And I would have no, I assume, experience with this previously whatsoever. You said it was like a secret language of sorts, or like an unknown arcane language?
It's an arcane language. You are familiar with that much, but you're not sure if it's something that has been written as a spell. It is a place, but it's been scrivened over and over again in arcane mark all the way around this trapdoor.
Well, Balthar, I believe you should step back very slowly.
I will
I don't
take his advice on that.
I don't quite know what the sigil is meant to do, but I can see that there is some sort of rune inscribed in the trapdoor itself, and it's some kind of arcane language. I'm not sure exactly what it's meant to do, but this is meant to be guarded heavily.
Well, Jerrod's
Very
not
well.
that smart, but he hears the word rune, and he moves him and Sakata back another 5 feet.
Looking
Sure.
back towards the room where the crates were at, I'll point to Klaus. We should probably head in there then.
That sounds like a plan.
I'll look back to Jerrod or Sakata. Either one of you want to take point, or should I?
Oh no, I don't fuck with magic stuff. That is all you, bro.
Very well. And I will go. I will be the first one in that room.
I'll
Did,
follow close
Make my way.
behind.
I'm curious, Klaus, did you want to say this?
That I was going. Oh, the rune you're talking about?
Yes.
No,
That is a common translation. That's translated specifically to you.
Not yet. No, I think I'm gonna hold off on that for right now. At least not while everyone else is in the room.
Okay.
So,
All
I mean,
right.
if you want to go ahead and just have a step outside while you decide to, test the rune.
Let's continue to explore first, and then I'll do my experimentation.
Sure. You guys, let's see here. Give me one last round of perceptions, please.
28.
29.
22.
8.
Balthar.
Did it.
Balthar and Klaus, you guys both spot at roughly the same time that there is, in the rafters of this room, there is what looks to be a small bag. Not like the side pouch that you found, this little, small side bag. This is, a little bit larger than a handbag, but it's been tucked up in the rafters.
I'll look to Klaus. You want me to give you a boost, or should I just try to jump up and grab it?
Give me a boost. I'll bring it down. I don't want to break anything.
No problem. I'll lean my back against the wall, and then I'll have my hands cupped together so that way I can lift them up with display.
Sure. Strength check, please.
That's not 19. It's supposed to be +2.
You're
So
still
it's 19.
successful.
Little different.
Yeah.
You are still successful. The +2 is just fine. As you lift him up, you get this heavy odor, this incredibly heavy odor of basalt again.
Okay. I guess I'm going to take the bag and step down and open it, see what's inside.
It is, it's basically a container of sorts for this particular powder. It's probably right around 3 to 4 pounds of it.
That's a significant amount.
Horam, what are you doing this entire time?
I would just be watching the front door, checking if guards are coming, because someone has to watch.
Okay.
Everyone else is just kind of standing around looking at this room.
Looking to Klaus, I'll ask anything you could use. I've seen you use some abilities of the arcane. Is this anything you could utilize in our efforts?
Not that I'm aware of. No, I'm not super familiar with the way that this particular material works, in addition to the fact that I typically don't use materials in my spellcasting.
I understand.
He's a sorcerer, not a wizard.
Jerrod chimes in, like he knows.
Well, he's made the mistake several times and been corrected, so yes, he does know.
I've got him trained well.
I've
Now sit, boy.
He does.
I've met my fair share of wizards, but he would be actually one of the first sorcerers I've met. So, thank you for educating me, Mr. Skelleran.
What he meant to say was, I don't have need for material components in my spells. I can simply cast.
I figured as much. Bubs, is there anything I would know that basalt powder can be used for outside of arcane spellcasting, like in druidic magics or anything like that?
Oh, this is a stretch. This is a huge stretch. You can try with a knowledge nature.
$17?
No, not going to do. You are entirely unfamiliar with this material.
Okay.
Maybe your father, the elder, would have some kind of idea, but not you.
You said it's 3 to 4 pounds in this container, right?
Yes. Like I said, it's a side bag, just chock full of this stuff.
I'll look to Klaus. Should I hold on to this for now? I feel like I can take some of these materials to the other wardens. They might be able to come up with something as to what we can use it for, exactly what its full purpose is.
Absolutely, yes. I believe that this would be better in the hands of wardens than people like it's been in the hands of.
Can I get some perceptions, please, from everyone?
$37.
Nothing. Wait, you have a 37? Oh, I read that as 17. Good God, 37.
No, that's Klaus's.
Balthar, as you're hearing from Klaus regarding, whether or not you can take this to your father, to the wardens, you hear something. More than just something, you hear shuffling from below. Below you, past the trapdoor, something moves. And you hear what could be akin to a blade being drug across stone. It is sharp, it is quick, and can be easily disguised, but your keen ears hear this.
As we're talking, I'll do this.
Klaus, Balthar looks to you and he says, "Black power, we're going down."
It's going down.
Looking to Sakata.
Goes down
and,
in the DMs.
Looking to Sakata and Jerrod, I'll lift up my blade, and I'll mouth the words, draw weapons.
And at which point Jerrod's gonna just kind of look at Sakata and just lift his sword off his shoulder where it's usually at.
How far below does this sound? Like, is it just like a couple of feet? Like someone's like under the floorboards, or is this like?
This is a stone floor.
Okay, so this is so this is beyond the trapdoor that's there.
Yes.
I'll look to Klaus and tell him someone's below. They're dragging a blade.
Well, we should probably take care of that. Don't need anyone knowing that we were here exactly.
Indeed.
Wow, that sounded like gangster as fuck.
I was about to say, it's like, oh shit, are we putting guards down if they come to find us?
It's like guards are gonna be residing in.
Guy's gonna come out of
trapdoor.
guys.
It's like anyone who sees our faces, we put them in the ground.
Guy's gonna pop out of this trapdoor and he's like,
Fishes.
Klaus is gonna be like, look, friend, you know, it's tough, but push come to shove, you tripped and fell on an ice pick like 6 or 7 times. Okay.
You've been good to me and my family business.
What size feet you got? I'm designing some new shoes for you. They're a little heavy.
Good
I'm gonna
God.
introduce you to the Hudson.
You remember that incident that happened a couple months ago with the flaming body in the river? That was us.
Last time someone saw someone come out of this hole, they had a dime-sized hole in their head. I don't know where it came from. But all of a sudden, it was just a dime-sized hole in his head. It didn't look too alright. It was getting pretty pale.
God damn it.
Some say it was Tony, but nobody really knows who it was.
He sticks his head in the trapdoor. He's all, you know what? He's all, stay down there hidden. We're going after your mother and your kids. You just hear the guy ready to.
Fuck.
If you all wish to stay in this room, I'll do my best to get the door open without killing myself.
And another 5 feet we go.
I'll
At
keep
this
my
time, Jerrod's going to be a good 30 feet away.
I would back off from the post at the door and I'd join Klaus's side just in case there was a surprise attack.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep my scimitar drawn and at the ready just in case the door opens up and.
I'm gonna mimic Xander's power and hold my scythe in my hand.
Why are you holding it up like that? That's very.
Scythe power.
This isn't Dark Souls. You can't just one-hand a scythe like that.
You just gonna see me go.
Is that a challenge?
So what do you do, Klaus?
I'm gonna speak the rune.
Oh boy! What could go wrong?
All right. There's the rune. Speak it for me.
The party wasn't prepared for. Quick Google Translate.
Cthulhu Infinel.
When you say this out loud, you hear this very, almost raspy, like deep fanged breath, just coming from the trapdoor itself. Something wrong? You forget my name, deceiver. Should I come up and pull your tongue out? Is it finally time to be free?
Are we gonna find more evil things?
Put my finger to my lips small.
You can tell that nothing's happened with you saying the arcane mark. Either it's inactive, or you said it wrong. Yeah, there's a new one. Where is he? Where is he?
The owner of this shop?
Yes. Where is he?
He's fled town.
Oh, then I'm free. Just break the sand Go on. Just kick the sand free.
Before I free you, I would like to know who you are.
Would like to know who I am. You want to know who I am? My name's everywhere. Can your mortal eyes not read? He told me that only those of the paths of magic could read. And, well, you tried. You tried. When I'm free, I'm going to pull your tongue from your body through your asshole.
See, I told you we should have gotten him hooked on phonics.
But if you free me, I'll leave you be. I'll go back to my home. Not on this wretched, disgusting plane.
What happens when I speak your name? Correctly, that is.
Wouldn't you like to know?
Frankly, yes, I would.
Why don't you come down and meet me personally? Sit down, we'll have tea together.
Klaus! It's an elaborate ruse!
Yeah, real elaborate. Okay, I have a question for you out of character. Would tongues assist me in this case? In knowing how to read his name properly?
Negative.
Okay.
If you succeed in a linguistics check, I'll set the DC at 15. I'll help you with it.
Okay. I will try.
All of the letters are silent.
Literally every one of them.
That's his name. Doesn't say anything, door opens.
13. Not exactly the size I wanted it to be.
It's true.
Yeah, and nobody else can even read it, so I can't even offer to assist.
Come down, come down. You can admire my barbs. You can admire my lashing tail, my eyes of fire.
What? When he said the name of this rune, or the whatever's underneath, would I have recognized it at all from anything
Negative.
Mobile? No, nothing religious-wise.
No, it's
Negative.
just a plane.
It's
It's just a name for something from a different plane.
Actually, since he mentioned that he was from a different plane, can I roll a knowledge planes to see if there's anything that, like, would catch?
With
AC-130.
the information that he's given you and knowledge planes, I'll set the DC at 18. If you beat DC 18 knowledge planes, then I'll try to give you information on this.
Well, here goes nothing.
Don't suck.
Oh,
Very good.
yes.
Very good. With the vague description, your best guess, he's certainly some kind of devil. Best guess is it's a barbed devil.
Okay. That sounds terrifying.
Just a bit.
I'm actually going to turn to my allies and do I have I guess I would have like a piece of parchment and potentially a quill, or maybe I could just use the basalt to scratch out his name, at least as I understand the spelling of it, and try to show it to them and ask if any of them have any clue how to properly say this.
Sure. Go for it. As you scratch it out into a common tongue, who would you like to show it to?
I'll start with Balthar, and then Horam, and then Sakata, then Jerrod.
Okay. Balthar, he gives you the letters.
Thunkin Fennel?
What did you say again, Will, when you said your first pronunciation of it?
Cthulhu Fennel.
He says Cthulhu Fennel. And you say what again, Ronald?
Thunkin Fennel?
No.
Or Thunkton Fennel, sorry.
No. There's nothing that happens. No response. Nothing.
All right, it's going to Horam then.
Horam,
Yeah.
give me a linguistics.
It's gonna have to be untrained.
That's fine. As one that's studied and knowledge religion, particularly, being a paladin, you're going to have a little indicator of how demons kind of run around with their names.
Okay. I'm just gonna see if I have. No, it's untrained. Seven.
That's not very good.
Not at all.
You can try to give me pronunciation.
I'm just gonna pass it on and say I can't even read that many consonants in a row.
It's understandable. Sakata, do you have any clue what this might be?
My guess would be Thunkton Fennel. With a little bit more. It's
Along the lines of what we've come up with so far, but I appreciate the effort.
a little bit more pronounced on the tin. But
Jerrod, you're up.
I'm not a language expert.
You're up.
Yeah, he comes up to me and I just kind of look at it and I'm like, Thunkton Fennel.
Negative.
Of all the times I was expecting you to be right.
Yeah, I was expecting that. Just like, you got it. That's it.
We all just look at Jerrod and goes like, what?
That's
You guys not know
exactly
how to
how
read?
it's pronounced. I mean,
Stay a while and listen.
You guys are close. You are close.
I'm going to approach the trapdoor again, and I'm going to speak Thunkton Fennel.
Oh, this is rich.
Can I want to take a closer look at these letters.
Okay.
See if I can distinguish anything.
Sure. Actually, while I'm at it, Klaus, give me a new perception.
Okay.
So can I roll another linguistics?
21.
Klaus, as you peer back after he begins to laugh at you, you look over the scratchings of this arcane mark in the floor, and this person has a particular style about their writing. It's all written. It's an arcane mark, but it's all written like. It's kind of like looking at a doctor's signature, right? So like it's all there, but it's all messed up. But something you start to notice as you begin to follow it through is that the K stops looking like a K. It instead appears to be a long-sticked X.
Well then, I'm going to share this newfound information with my allies. Thunkton Fennel?
His laugh begins to taper off. There's no response.
Thunkton Fennel?
No, you're wrong. No.
Correct me then.
He's starting to sound like he's getting a little annoyed.
Can I try another linguistics? See if I can catch it.
Yes.
Well, while he checks it, can he hear all of us or just Klaus?
Ooh, 16.
And vice versa, can we hear
He can
all
all-
of
he-
you?
if we're changing him to X's, it's Stuxton Fennel, but that's just literacy there.
Horam,
Yeah.
you know that the U sound is going to pronounce like a long O, multiple O's even, so it's an oo. And the X behind the T is going to be a strong X noise. But the leading X is You can't actually tell if it's going to be a strong X or somewhat silent, like X or Ix.
The first X?
Yes.
The second X?
The first X.
Ugh. Okay, I'm gonna move forward and I'm gonna say XanderDarks.
When you say that, the basalt begins to burn all the way around this particular opening in the floor. The wood even begins to kind of curl up under the basalt itself, and this sigil seems to burn multiple times over, and you see all of the arcane marks begin to just kind of glow before you. And then nothing happens.
And then I'm gonna say, ta-da! I'm gonna take a step back.
Good? Question mark?
Say it again.
I'll say it again. I'll move forward and say, XanderDarks.
There's no response.
Well,
Sunston Fennel, he asked you your name. Is that it?
There is no response.
Was
Well-
this maybe some sort of communication? The only way he could get to us out of some kind of place he was trapped?
did we unleash more evil upon the world?
I think we just closed its only way out.
Klaus, give me a knowledge planes.
Okay.
Actually, knowledge plane. Give me a knowledge arcana.
No, it's stuck. We fucking bound him here. He's all, no!
He's like, oh, you dicks, you got me.
Like those Vine videos, you just like, it's all dudes.
Swiper, no swiping, but with devils.
Ah, you got me, my dudes. Get away.
Nice.
Wow, very good. You know that names hold power, particularly in the demon and devil world. And in this case, the devil's name was pronounced. There was some kind of sigil that was burned. You're not entirely sure of its presence, but he's no longer responding.
Well, is somebody just going to open the trap door and find out?
Horam, see if he'll listen to you. He seemed to stop when you
I'm
spoke.
gonna move forward and say, hey, Demon Man, you still there?
No response.
I'm gonna take that as he's not there.
Can I go to open the trap door?
You can, in fact. You can see that there are locks on it, however.
What kind? Are they just like steel padlocks, or is it magic from what it looks like?
They appear to be, they look steel, but they kind of look off-colored. Something strange about it. It just looks off-colored.
I'm gonna call over the ranger and say, "Hey, you know about a bit about locks, don't you? What about this?"
No, I don't know where you got that information from.
I just taking a wild guess. Usually the sneaky ones are pretty good with locks.
He prances about in the woods. What would he know about locks?
Do you know anything about locks?
Is there any way to do a knowledge nature to see the kind of metal it's made from? Like if I've seen ore similar to it?
You can try.
$13?
You aren't familiar. As someone who's not a smith and doesn't come from a smithing family, you aren't familiar with this. But you know it's not steel. It's not made from the same thing their blades are made from.
Does it feel like, it sounds weird, but does it feel softer than steel? Like
It does not. It does not. But you will note, as you're glancing over it, there are two different types of metal on the lock.
different colorations?
Different alloys of sort. Like it's
So, like,
plated.
there's like different lusters and stuff like that? or-
Yeah,
Oh,
it's-
it's different. Okay.
It seems like it was a lock that was fashioned, and then someone coated the corners and the edges in a different kind of metal.
Okay. It seems the locks have been reinforced with something.
Well, how many locks are there?
There are two.
Oh wait. I don't know if this is player or not, but I look up to Klaus. Does this look like silver to you?
I can't say for sure, but it's certainly got a similar look to it.
Klaus, are the locks magical?
Is my detect magic still running at this point, Bub, or would it have?
No,
dissipated?
it's there, and at no point did it seem magical.
Okay. They don't appear to be. If they are, then they're well masked.
He's going to swing his sword at him.
I'll jump out of the way so he doesn't fucking
Yeah,
cut my
thanks.
hand.
Yeah, thanks for giving us time to move.
Just,
Yeah,
is
there
it
was-
magical? No. Bam!
There was no opportunity. He's just going to swing. Are you swinging at the door itself, or are you swinging at the locks?
The locks.
Okay, sure. Go ahead and make an attack, please. It's going to be like a called shot of sorts. Something so small. Give me -8.
All right. So. God, I hate that. Okay, so I need to go ahead and do.
Horam, give me perception.
25 hit.
25 will hit.
All right.
14.
And do I need to roll damage?
Yes, you do. You do, in fact. Okay. This is important. Horam, as you look back to see, to retain your watch at this point, because they've been kind of making a big deal about it, and you were focusing on reading this. When you look back, there is in fact a face in the window, and they're peering in. And the moment you turn, this person sprints away.
At first glance, would I recognize the face?
You would not. It's silhouette.
Okay, then I kind of want to run to the door to see if I can catch a glimpse of them before they make it around a corner or something.
You'd have to run to the back. They're looking in through the front. And the moment that you make it to the back, they're gone.
Okay.
I knew it. I freaking knew it.
Jerrod, you seem to bring your blade down atop this, and when you do, the metal plating on the outward side of this seems to shatter and basically kick back upward from the initial, concussive burst of your blade. Because you swing down, you're swinging down with... It's a focused shot. You're aiming, but you're not pulling a punch on this. And when
Oh, no, I'm intending to go ahead and break shit.
Yeah, you want to break it. So as you bring this down, your blade down on top of this, the metal plating on the outside of the lock bursts, and it seems to rapid fire around the room. There is no opportunity at reflex. When you strike this, you're going to get some kickback, and something stabs into your neck. When you feel at it, this is more than just a sting. This is more than just a burn. You're going to take a single point of damage from this. It seems to send waves of pain over your entire body. I need a fortitude save.
Oh, joy.
Oh my god, please tell me he's not going to morph into a wear short. Push him down the hole, take him, demon. Oh shit.
Not good, not good.
The moment that this connects with your body and you feel it pierce your flesh, the pain, the waves of pain hit you like a tidal wave. You immediately drop to the ground, releasing your weapon, and it forces you to go into borderline seizure. Your body begins to convulse from the pain. You begin to feel this waves of nausea hit over your body. Perceptions, please, from everyone else in the room. Horam, you're facing outside of the room.
I would have been expecting the sound, so I wouldn't be too notified until maybe did he yell or anything?
Well, yeah, he's screaming out now in pain.
Then, yeah, I would turn around and check.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you got a
guys-
guy in heavy
yeah, you
plate
guys got
armor
this.
on the ground, thrashing around in pain and foaming at the mouth, going into seizures.
Yeah.
You hear it.
You guys can see this. As you peer back over, his body is like he's lurching down to kind of gain control of himself while his left arm is doubled up over his stomach as he's calling out. Like you see bits of foam kind of forming like spittle over his lips. And as he turns his head away, every time he kind of turns, it looks almost like this metal is boring into the skin. And as it begins to get deeper and deeper, his skin begins to ripple up and change. The flesh begins to tear, and you see bits of new hide underneath the flesh. It looks to be a pallid white. It's got a very unique pattern about it. It seems almost hooked. His body begins to shift. Is there any kind of response?
Yeah. I mean, if I see him
You
turning out
gotta
of his,
suck the poison out.
if I see that, is there any way I can cut the metal that's in him out? Like, is there any way to react to that? Because I mean, that's what went into him the first time, right?
You're gonna cut him?
Well, if it did I see the actual silver go into his neck? That's what I'm asking.
Everybody did at this point. Sakata is the closest.
Yeah.
Sakata is the closest. Sakata, will you react? I'm going to give you the first opportunity to react since you're right there. Plus, you're probably the strongest person to deal with his body flailing about. Remember, this is Jerrod.
I'd probably catch him, if anything, but I wouldn't try to fuck with his wound. I'd let literally anyone else touch it besides me.
I'll say hold him down, and I'll rush over and try to.
Gladly.
Yeah, I'll assist with that. Then.
I'm gonna try to pull the
my
shard
question
out of his neck.
My question is this: you're basically like first responder in the situation. He's going down. There's not an opportunity to catch him because you guys were kind of already leaning out of the way, afraid of what his swing is going to do. And you see this shard sticking out of his neck. Do you just kind of like wipe your hands of it and basically let him go, or do you instinctively? I'm asking particularly Austin here, since he's the first person to be there. Like everybody else is kind of on the absent side of the room.
So hold on, just so I can get the situation. You got the piece of neck, the metal in his neck, and then
he immediately collapses on the ground.
Right?
He immediately collapses on the ground, and everybody sees this shard sticking out of his neck, yourself included. But you are the closest.
Yeah, I would try to. Because he was seizing, right, and convulsing.
Yeah, he's beginning to shake and scream.
Yeah, then after, because I would have been moving out of the way for the attack, like you said, I would try to bounce at least back forward and try to, hold him still.
Sure. Give me a strength check. This is very important.
Okay.
Okay, give me perception.
Okay.
And then give me a CMB.
Okay.
Sniper, I need to know what your CMD is.
Hella. 29.
Okay.
CMB is just base attack plus strength, right?
Yes.
Good.
Yeah, plus you don't have a size modifier, so yeah.
That was a 17. Ooh, you lie to me, you.
Unfortunately, it's not going to be enough in this situation. So this is what's happened.
Well,
this is what's happened.
Wouldn't my combat maneuver defense be at a negative right now because I'm not actively trying to avoid?
You're not actively attempting to avoid, but your strength isn't going to go down at all. You already have a base of 10. So if anything, we're going to lose your dexterity because you're not dexterous. But I'm assuming your dexterity is not high enough to alleviate that down to a 19. All right. So you're flailing. This is you just kind of you're going wild. Like your body is just seizing about, and he immediately drops down and attempts to hold you down. It's not working. And as he looks at Sakata, as you're looking over his body, you see his teeth beginning to shift before you. The two front teeth begin to shift together, and they seem to sharpen down into this razor sharp, almost barbed wire, this jack-o'-lantern-like mouth that seems to shift to this bright white ivory. And as you obviously have feared for your life, holding on to him, you kind of just bound him up, and as you attempt to, you feel something scratch into your hand. Something begins to scratch over the top of your hand as you're trying to hold him down.
Oh shit, that's right.
When you recoil away from him, you see that there is a shard of the lock that is sticking out of the top of your hand. And your hand is beginning to shake as you see these blackened veins twist over your palm. Your fingers begin to elongate by 2 to 3 inches, and you can see these long stipend nails hanging off of your fingers. Your arm begins to thin, but it seems to grow in length. As he leans up away from Jerrod's body, Horam, Balthar, and Klaus, you see him turning before you as well.
Can I rip the shard out of my hand?
Give me a fortitude save.
boy, if both fighters end up turning in this little room.
Very
That's
good.
nice.
Very good. You resist this nauseous urge of your body as it's beginning to alter and change before you. You feel your rib cage almost start to swell apart. There's a popping from your body. And with everything in your person, you take your left arm and you reach out over your hand as it begins to alter before you. See hairs sprouting up, borderline covering this shard of silver, and you shakedly pull it from your body. Maybe. Let's see a strength check.
That was a 20 again.
That's fine. That's fine. I set the DC at 15, even or odd.
Even.
R1D20.
God damn it.
Odd. Odd. As you attempt to pull it from your hand, the flesh begins to swell over the top of the silver shard that's sticking out of the rear side of your palm. Horam, Balthar, Klaus. At this point, Sakata is sitting missionary on top of a shifting Jerrod, and they're both beginning to almost writhe in pain as their bodies are changing before your very eyes.
Yeah, and you said the shards are basically being covered by the change in skin, correct?
Particularly on Sakata, but it's not.
Okay.
It's not so much so on
Jared's traps aren't
Jerrod.
growing that big.
All right.
Jared's got like it's about a 3.5-inch piece of metal sticking out of his neck.
And he's just kind of writhing on the ground at this point, right? He's not like actively resisting against Sakata.
Correct.
All right, I'm gonna try really hard to pull this thing out of his neck.
Sure. Give me a strength check.
I'm just quivering like Michael J. Fox.
Can it be anything but a strength check?
It's
A heal check, a dex check.
It's got to be a strength
literally
check.
anything else.
You're trying to yank this piece of metal out my ass. Yeah, you're gonna.
I mean, out of your neck. Let's be clear about that.
If it was out of your ass, it would be
Going
way
crazy.
easier.
Nice.
Wow!
I have a feeling that.
Wow! I set the DC at 18, actually. I set the DC at 18. And as you lean down, you place basically your right foot at the shoulder, atop of this enormous shoulder pad, and lean in. And as you begin to pull this, with like almost an audible shriek, as it pulls from his neck, he begins to slowly cease from his change. His teeth begin to shift back to the point, as his eyes seem to just be these like glossy black orbs that have shifted further on his face. He was mid-transformation, but at this point he lies in that mid-transformation state as his body slowly begins to shift back. However, opposite that,
Hate to break up the family reunion, guys.
I wanted to try to pull the metal from his hand.
okay, you're gonna need to restrain him at this point.
I would be coming in to try and restrain Sakata.
Okay, go for it. Let's see what you got.
CMB?
Yes, versus his CMD. Sakata, what's your CMD?
26.
26.
I have a lot of
Oh,
dex and
fucking
strength.
sweet, bro.
Nice.
Very good.
Like, jeez.
At this point, Sakata, as you're beginning to shift before him, you can't seem to draw the strength inside of yourself to prevent this transformation. In fact, a part of you begins to embrace it. You just get this weird, this weird sensation over your body. It's like you've never been this alive before. You're beginning to hear things that you've never heard before, sense things that you've never smelled before whatsoever. And as you're beginning to feel this in your face, like you feel this like popping and cracking, as your teeth begin to jut away from your face, you're getting this long extended maw, almost like that of like a hound. You feel something catch you in the gut as Horam spears you to the floor.
As I'm on the ground, woof, bark, woof.
That's actually not what's happening at all.
We actually see him turn into a mouse and start barking.
Balthar.
I'm gonna try to remove that.
Balthar.
Yeah.
Horam has hit him in a way that his body has folded over. So as he begins to shift backwards, you see his legs kind of kick out from under him. And where his armor comes down... What kind of armor are you wearing again, Austin?
The mithril fucking full plate.
The full plate. Very good. As he begins to fall backward, you hear like audible snapping noises. When you look down, the shin plates of his full plate armor, the leather just releases.
God damn it.
His legs, near the kneecap itself, they splint backwards. And his body begins to almost elongate as his arms begin to like steeple out from his sides. He curls his head backward, and you can see these fanged teeth come out from various portions. Your armor is not destroyed before you think that's the scenario. It's not the case. The straps were released because your body is shifting, and it was affixed to the size of your body, but your limbs are becoming thinner.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm still gonna go for that piece on him.
Okay. He does not start barking. Negative. That is not the case. Go ahead. Give me a strength check. This is a bit harder because this wasn't a very large shard, and his hair, this almost armor-like hair, is growing over his flesh.
18.
18. I'm gonna set that as an even or odd.
Even.
Odd. You get your thumb and your forefinger around this, and as you begin to strip this away, it seems like the hair almost kind of grows over your hand. Not like it's trying to swallow your hand, but you lose vision of this. In fact, you feel the hair kind of pushing your hand away from it. It's almost like it's forming a type of light armor naturally for him. He still continues to shift.
Try it again.
Let's see.
Is there any way for me to assist him at this point?
Yeah, you can. You can. Okay. You can actually assist. If you break 10 on a strength check, I'll allow you to hold his arm down and make it easier for him.
All right. Well, here goes.
Hey.
Very good. You basically move your entire body over and sit on his arm. As you begin to hold his arm down, give me a new strength check.
21.
Very good. Very good. As you lean down at this point, Klaus is holding onto his very thin arm, holding it up. The hair seems to like split around this silver, and as it seems split around the silver, it's like it's trying to reject, but his natural regenerative ability is not preventing it from happening. So you lean down and you strip this thing out, and as you do so, it's like his eye, or excuse me, it's like his hand blinks like an eye. It strips away from the silver, and then it blinks closed, and the hair seems to swell around it.
Look on the bright side, Austin. We're like Deadpool now.
So I didn't get the shard?
You did get it. You managed to strip it from his body.
I can add werewolf to the list.
Okay, cool. So I will throw that thing away from him as far as I fucking can.
Okay.
Werewolf red.
Is he still transforming, or is he reverting back as well?
He's lying there mid-transformation. The transformation is stopped, but he's
where I get like that
he's not
cool,
conscious.
Like, half side where I get one really long.
No,
like, fucked
you're
up
not
arm.
Sonic Unleashed. Stop it.
Dude, it's only half my turn at night.
Kind of looking back to Klaus, we need to get them out of here now.
I agree.
Bub, am I still conscious, or am I in too much pain?
You're unconscious. It's not pain at this point. It's just
I'm out.
you didn't even go full transformation.
Yeah, because I would have grabbed him and said, "No, damn you, go down the pit."
Shit. I mean, it's midday, right?
Yeah.
I'll just look at them. We can't move them like this. Oh, is there a cart? Is there like a cart in the back that we can use? No.
No. Remember, he left.
Worth more than silver.
He left. He took his cart. He took all of his shit, and he bailed. He's gone.
Okay.
Given the circumstances, it might actually be better to leave them here for now.
Very well. Then we post up here for the day until.
Before we commit to resting here, we should figure out exactly what's going on with that door. I mean, they did essentially sacrifice themselves to get it open.
True.
Also, before we do much more, the reason I ran off after we lost connection with whatever was underneath, I saw someone at the window peering in. I didn't catch a face, it was but a silhouette.
That's more than a little concerning. We should cover the windows and make sure that we are not seen in here any further.
True. True enough. I'll try barring up the door in the back, and then we'll work any issues out in here in the store. Make sure we have some secure exits, or at least figure out what we're dealing with in here.
Okay, so Balthar, you want to seal up the door itself, the rear door.
The back door, yeah.
Okay. You already know that the front door is locked.
Mm-hmm.
Horam, what exactly are you trying to do?
I would aid to to cover the windows so that people couldn't see us inside.
Okay.
Getting up, I'll put a hand on Klaus. See to them, make sure they're well, and then prepare yourself.
Klaus.
If anything goes wrong, let me know, please.
Klaus, you see that where he struck, the way that he was angled to strike, he took out both locks at the same time. There are no more locks on this door, on this trap door.
I'm going to first check both of the bodies, Jerrod and Sakata, make sure they're not just dying.
Dead.
Sure.
Yeah.
No, they're unconscious. At this point, Jerrod's body is entirely shifted back to the Skellering form, and you see that Sakata is still on the mend at this point.
Right, but neither of them are outwardly bleeding or anything like that.
Correct.
Cool.
I'll move them away from the lock.
We don't
Actually,
even have wounds at this point.
Where the shelf was or the table, I'll move them in that area just so they're away from everything else.
Okay. He seems to drag their bodies out at this point, Klaus, but they seem fine. Horam is still kind of maintaining a watch at this point. That just leaves you back here.
I'm going to take extreme caution to not... well, actually, is the vessel... is it burned up at this point, or is it remaining there, but it was burning when we spoke the name?
The basalt, it's entirely burned up at this point.
Okay, then I'm not worried about smearing the circle. I'll just fucking take a peek in, I guess.
Okay. So explain to me how you're going to do this.
So it's hinged so that it lifts upward, right? Into the room that we're in?
Yes.
Okay, then I'm going to crack it just enough to look down into it. I assume it's dark down there, but...
It is. The moment that you manage to break the door up just about an inch, where you see an inch of black space, there is a single snap of a ripcord. Give me a reflex.
Sounds about right. Reflex.
I'm just picturing him on the floor on his knees, kind of lifted it up just a minute and...
How's 26?
You're going to take half.
Okay.
You are going to take half, my friend. As you've leaned down to lift the door itself, you have triggered a trap, a secondary affect, to prevent people who could potentially read and set the summons appropriately. Oh boy.
Does it get to switch to another body today?
I don't think so. What's your hit points at?
44.
Maybe.
We will see.
Okay, so that's gonna be... You drag them all the way to the other side of the room. Horam's at the door. Balthar, I need a reflex from you, Balthar.
$29. I also have evasion.
Oh, then you're good. You're good. You managed to evade. So in this situation, as you begin to lift the door, there's a ripcord, a snap, and then an explosion that shakes the building, blowing off part of the roof. 28 points of damage.
Whew. But half, right?
Yeah, you're going to take half.
Okay, that's not all that bad, but god damn!
28 points of damage. Yeah, that was about half. A little less than half, actually.
Rolling off of the explosion, I'll look back up. Klaus! And I'll run over to him.
So wait, 28 is the half damage?
No, 14 is.
Okay, I was just clearing that up.
28
You lose
is
a quarter
just
of your
under
hit
half.
points.
Okay. Yeah. That
Now this has happened.
Fucking hurt.
The wall nearest the back door has exploded. The wall is down. The roof has brought down the rafters at this point. It is open. The window itself has blown out. Any kind of spell that was disguising the wall there has since gone. It's no longer there. It's managed to break down part of the wall. The door, the trapdoor itself is destroyed.
I've got to ask, how long are me and Sakata out? Because it would be funny as hell for Jerrod just to sit up and go, "What the hell was that?"
Give me a perception. This is going to be a little hard for you guys to make, but both of you that are unconscious, please perceptify me.
What?
I imagine they're both just gonna sit up like Pulp Fiction style. Adrenaline shot to the chest.
Okay, that's not going to be enough.
Would I have heard the explosion?
Yes.
Okay, just checking.
You're inside the place.
Yeah.
You would have.
We're like 20 feet from one another. That explosion goes off that breaks
You're good.
down half the building.
You're good. The building at this point is basically just a cloud of dust and smoke. You hear the sound of cobble toppling to the outside wall. You hear the sounds of people outside that they begin to kind of maraud around and riot, angrily so. At this point, you guys have only added to the forays of the attack outside. There's now explosions happening during this riot. So imagine how that's going to amp the people up.
I want to run over to Klaus. Is he good?
Klaus was
all right?
blown back. He's basically dropped to a knee at this point.
I will assist him upward. Are you all right?
He's talking to you, Splodes.
All right's a relative term. I'm not dead. So there's that.
Good. All right. Well, we've got the door open and a bunch of holes in the building now, but
Everything
we
is
can fortify
open.
for the. We can fortify that later on.
I just like how he's like, are you fine? Oh, great. That's good. I'm glad that now we have a foyer.
I swear to God, Balthar is fucking Drax from Guardians.
Well, hey, look at that skylight. Helping him up, I will then make my way over to the trapdoor and I'll look down the hole. Is there anything down there?
Give me perception, please.
$31.
Dust and debris cover the body of what appears to be some kind of creature. An amalgamation of spikes and barbs lie lifeless on the floor below.
Oops. I'll call down to him. Your cage has been opened. Are you still alive?
There is no response.
Oh god, I killed a demon with my voice.
He goes by many names, but Horam now goes by Dragonborn.
Jesus.
I can no longer talk to my son.
Oh, that would suck.
Shit. I mean, is there... Okay, so the table, the one that you said wasn't moved, is it bolted to the ground?
Yes, it is.
Okay. How far down is this trap hole?
The trap is 20 feet down. From the trapdoor, it's 20 feet down.
I'll look over to Klaus. I have a climber's kit. I can latch it onto some stuff here and climb down to see if that creature's okay. It's your call.
I don't know exactly what we should do. He could be playing some sort of trick, but we sort of have to investigate at this point, don't we?
Horam, remember, you can wake your allies.
Yeah, I was planning on doing that to them once they became human and not half and half.
Yeah, they seem to be mostly fine at this point.
Then I would go and wake them.
Sure. How would you like to do that?
Their wounds are not too bad, right? They're gonna live?
No, they actually don't have wounds.
Okay, then I'm gonna slap them awake.
All right.
Oh!
Basically,
Jostle.
mollywopped awake. When you peer upward, you
Great.
see that Horam has basically slapped you guys.
I'm accumulated.
Morning, sleeping ugly.
That was a good nap. I am not tackling you ever again.
That
It's a good plan.
sucks so hard.
Ronald, give me a. Let's see. Are you trying to tie this up somewhere, or what are you trying to do?
So with the climber's kit, I'm just trying to like whatever I can use to I guess get myself the leverage that I need to get the rope going downward. But I mean, if I can use the banisters if they're still intact, or
You'll have to use one of the banisters on the inside of the opposite room because the banisters here have been taken down.
that's fine. That's fine.
Sure.
I'll use that, and then I'll attach my climbing gear onto me and look over to Klaus. If anything should happen, and I'll take off my bow and I'll hand it to him. Make sure the wardens get that back. And yeah, I'll start making my descent down into the trap hole.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Sakata, when did we get a skylight?
As you descend down, you see that this small room, not much more than a 15 by 15, it seems to have marks in it, because you have dark vision. You see that there are multiple marks that have been scrivened into the walls. They seem to mark the amount of days that have passed. And they're numerous. You can't seem to count them all, not with the quick glance. Your best guess is this creature has been here far longer than most would presume. You're not even sure if it's days either. It could be months, it could be years. But he seems to have been here for a while.